Welcome to the Mixtape Queen podcast, where we bring you the hottest and most talented up-and-coming artists around the world. Today's special guest is LuXx LuXx, aka Mz.DontMiss.
Hey.
Okay.
Yes, queen.
Period.
How are you, beautiful?
Doing good, ladies. How are you guys doing?
Wonderful.
We're doing good. Yes.
Wonderful.
Very
Happy
blessed.
to
Yes, grateful.
I'm so
well.
excited to have you here because we've been working on this for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, and we were just watching some of your videos and stuff, and I think you said that you haven't even been doing music that long, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm actually approaching my 2-year mark.
That's crazy because it seems like you've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah, you body the confidence.
Yeah.
And we love that. We love seeing that.
I appreciate you both very much.
Absolutely. We want to get to know you a little bit better. So, like, tell us a little bit about your background and how you got started doing music.
Well, so I've always loved music. I think I was probably 6 years old when I identified that, hey, I kind of like the attention that comes with this. I lived in California, and this was back when there was record stores, you know. I'm aging myself right now, but we went in to the record store, and I was looking for this specific song, and I didn't know the name of it. I had just heard it on the radio, and the guy at the shop was like, can you sing it? And I started singing the song. The song was Four Non Blondes, What's Going On. I don't know if you guys know, it's kind of an old song, but I just started singing it, and I closed my eyes, and when I opened my eyes, it was people standing around, and I got lost literally in the music, and that's happened to me forever. I grew up in foster care, and I really have a love for all kinds of music. I don't actually know how to read music, which is a funny confession of mine, because I love to build all of my own music, but not understanding the structure is kind of it's ironic. When I lived in one of these group homes that I was in, they had a piano. Somebody had donated a piano. So I just kind of would sit over there, and I would put 1, 2, 3, 4, on all the keys, and I would learn that way, and then just sing to the music. And I don't know, it was like therapy. You know, it's always been, I went to a lot of different schools. I didn't get the opportunity to make a lot of friends, and I was socially awkward. So I really didn't know how to open the conversation, and my home life wasn't like everybody else's. So I didn't want to get too close to people. So music has always been my best friend. And I don't know, I think within the last 2 years, when I started pursuing it seriously, was that confidence that I never had in myself started to come out. I left a very abusive relationship, and I started to learn who I was and love myself more. And part of that was identifying some of the gifts that I've hid away and been scared to share with people. So now I just kind of look at it like, where words have failed, my music can speak, you know. And not every single song I write is, you know, pinpointing a part of my past, but each song that I write it's me. It's the authentic LuXx, you know. So yeah.
I love your story. I love your story because, you know, through that struggle and that strife that you had, even being you feel like the oddball out, you really push past that and say, you know what? Yeah, I'm the oddball out. It's a reason for that. And started perfecting this thing that you really wanted to do. And I love that. And I've heard some of the songs. We've heard some of the songs where you were singing. And we're like, who the is this? Wait a minute. She sounds good. What the hell? And I mean, you're a great artist. Really. You some people are just meant to do it, and they know it at a very young age. And sometimes it just takes time and the right type of support to get there. And I'm just glad that you found that. And I mean, as far as we're concerned, you are a superstar.
Yes.
That's much to me. Like a lot of the process is honestly is believing in yourself. And I know, I'm sure you guys have talked to 100 artists, and there's definitely artists who are like, I'm her, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna sit and say that I feel that way 100% of the time. It's like, you know, I'm still getting to a place where I really believe in myself and believe in my music. But I feel like that's what continues my drive for this, is because there might be, maybe my target audience is a younger crowd, and there's a girl just like me who don't have that person in her corner who's like, you can do this. If you believe in yourself to do this, you can do this. And maybe on one of these platforms I'm on or something, she'd come across my music and read my story or hear my story, and that would be enough to make her believe in herself, you know? So.
Absolutely.
I love that. I love that because it seems like we connected with you right at this point of your awakening. Like you're going through this, you know, like you mentioned, you know, going through hard times, and it's amazing how music is that medicine for all of us. And it's also like that glue that brings us together. And through that, like, you know, reaching young women and sharing your story, that's your power right there. And I love that because a lot of people do have a hard time believing in themselves. But I feel like when you go through these hard times, that's your power and your way of impacting the world. And through your, you know, hard times, you build character. That's how you're able to have the confidence to put those words together, be in those music videos, and, you know, share your story online with thousands and possibly millions of people, pretty much. So yeah, that's a huge blessing, and we're just happy to see it, because when we see our queens winning and following their dreams, that's why we do what we do. That's why the Mixtape Queens is literally putting in that effort every single day. Like this is all we do 100% of our time.
Like 80 hours of the week is literally dedicated to finding female artists so that we can continue to help promote them, their brand and their business. Like that's what we do. So
yeah,
I love it. I mean, I really do love it, because part of, I have a lot of friends who are, I don't know, I just gravitate towards musically inclined people, it seems like. And I have quite a few women friends who are artists, or they play an instrument or producing. And we all share a situation, you know, where it's kind of deterred us from wanting to continue to go after it. And it's situations where we've all said it, that it's like, dang, if there was a woman ran record label, or, you know, something where women could be a little bit more celebrated in different lights, not just one lane, which, you know, in the industry, we all know it kind of goes without saying. But I love that you guys empower women, because it kind of seems like there's only one lane of women empowerment right now, and that goes in over-sexualizing our bodies. And it's like, there's so much more than being beautiful on the outside. And sometimes people don't even care to listen to people's music if their main structure of promoting themselves is not body, you know?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's just a part of the problem. It's a part of the problem.
Which, with that being said, I'm girl gang all day. I love all women, even the women that are like, yeah, body yaddy. Like I love that too. But unfortunately, with the music industry, it's almost like, unless that lane is something that you're okay with and comfortable and going with, then you're kind of like overlooked, it feels like. And I feel like sometimes women say, well, I look good, so like it's okay. And, you know, deep down, it's like, that's not what they didn't go into it for that. They went into it to share their music and their passion for the music, and kind of gets watered down because they're not getting to live their truth, you know? So
That's true.
Yeah,
That's straight facts.
That's
facts. Like I've heard a lot of actual major artists that are females, they do water down their music and make it more about like sexuality, because that's what sells right now.
Right.
And they don't care about these labels. They used to care about the genuine talent of these people, but now they don't. It's about popularity. And, you know, I don't know how old you are, but I know I was born in the 90s, and in the 90s we had real artists. Okay. And so she knows about that. I'm sure you know about that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, not that anybody's not a real artist, but there's so many like copies of the same thing, and nobody knows how to be original anymore. Like for me, you are an original artist. Like you do your own type of style, your own type of flavor. I like that. We like that. But there are a lot of people that would rather be like, no offense to anybody, because I love this woman, but they want to be Nicki's, or they want to be Cardi B's. I love these women. There's nothing wrong with these women because they're themselves. But these other young women that are watching them want to be them, and they don't know what individuality looks like anymore.
Or it's we're in a generation of people, anything that looks different, they're like, what the hell is that? And so they get bullied because they're doing something different, rather than looking at it and being like, that's interesting. I've never seen that before. I've never heard that before. Mm-hmm. And yeah,
it gets a little out of pocket, out of hand, but
it's interesting to hear y'all talk about, these, I'd call like the Nicki, the Cardi, Meg Thee Stallion, kind of like these most popular female artists, right? They might be the top selling or, but, we also have tons of other artists. And it's like, I guess I kind of forget about that because I've been so untapped into that for so long. And like with us, we're so, like, we get so excited over a small up and coming artist, just as we do someone that's a big artist. So, and there's so much talent right now. It's incredible. It really is. So if anybody else is feeling like, dang, the music is like washed down, like, I think maybe a lot of people aren't looking deep enough into the music. Like, support your local artists, support like hashtag hip hop music and female artists, and like tap in with them. Like, find that artist that resonates with you. There's somebody out there that's going through a similar story, and they have music that you can relate to that will uplift you. So, I just want to throw that in there because I know a lot of queens are watching this right now, and sometimes we feel like maybe there's not something out there for us, but there for sure is.
There's definitely a space for everybody out there.
Yeah, right. All types right of now is a great time in the music industry. It really is. There's so much talent.
Kind of like piggybacking off of what you said too, because I think that's the issues that we were discussing with like Nicki and Cardi is like, that's mainstream. But absolutely what you said, it's like people who really do give, maybe this person has never been on a big stage, but their music is on Spotify and they've been doing this for, 3 years or something. Yeah, absolutely. There's so much talent that's kind of got to kind of go through some of the, for lack of better words, kind of got to go through some of the shit to find the gems. And it's like, I always feel like that. It's in my bio on my stuff. I say, popularity will never equal talent. And I feel like that heavily. I think that you see it in like fashion all the time as well. There's big name brands who steal from small designers off their content that they post to try to build up what they're doing, and then they just rip off their idea. And I know that happens to artists. I'm going through that myself right now, and it sucks and it's discouraging, but I think that's more empowering to other artists who are not the big name artists trying to build up that platform get themselves out there. So
absolutely,
and the reason why your platform is amazing. I mean,
oh,
it gives people a space, a common ground to kind of be like, hey, we kind of relate with this, and we find I've watched a couple of the episodes, and I'm listening to some of the artists that you guys have had on here, and I'm just like, I feel like, dang, we were sisters because we went through some of the same stuff, like, you know, and it makes you relate. And thankfully, people like you give artists a voice that maybe right now this mainstream whatever won't, you know, see us. But I love content creators and platforms like you guys, what you're doing, because it does give smaller artists the opportunity to have that voice. So it's really cool.
Well, thank you.
Thanks for noticing. But thank you for being a part of it, because you are a part of it with you being on this platform and you using your voice and you telling your story, and you also uplifting this next generation of young women, because we really need to start working on that collectively. Our generation is leading these other young women into this next form of life, and we have to prepare them. Like, these things, it could be so grimy in this world, yes, but it can also be very beautiful if you can learn to love your sister, no matter what she looked like, no matter what she sounds like. Everybody's different, everybody's unique in their own way, and it's our job to love on them, not to judge them, not to, oh, I'm better than you. And I don't believe in competing, because I don't think anybody's better than anybody, but I think everybody's the best at their own thing.
Yeah,
that's my go-to. So yeah. I love this conversation already.
Me too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I would like this to be a calling to anybody who's watching to drop the name or the link of one of your favorite female artists or any artist, because I think the biggest resource that we have is each other. And if you're trying to get your music out there, there's people who need music in their life. Like, we joke all the time that, you know, our community are hope dealers. And so, you know, like, we're hope dealing, we're trying to uplift each other and connect and share, you know, medicine. It's like medicine for us. When you hear a song that talks about something you went through, or, you know, uplifts you, that's power. And so music is a very divine blessing to be able to experience it, as well as art. And some people like business, right? And like, a lot of times we have big ideas for like an end game. Oh, I want to be an artist so I can be financially, materially, and, you know, really it's deeper than that. You're doing God's work, and you're a spiritual healer. And I think it's very, very important what we're saying in our songs and what we're listening to in our songs, because a lot of it can be very toxic, you know, and in one mindset, it might be very freeing to be, you know, sexual and free, and it's beautiful, it's love. At the same time, that can be misused, especially by the younger generation. So yes, I think this conversation is very important and very much needed for our young queens and people who are watching, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. So with that being said, I'm interested to know what kind of projects that you're working on right now.
So I don't even know how much I could say, but some exciting stuff actually happened. As like was briefly mentioned, and because of like our private talks, you know, I am going through a little bit of hardship, which I'm open and, you know, transparent about, because I'm a real person and it's real. And, you know, I am experiencing a lot of hardship right now, but I'm grateful, because my relationship with God has literally been, I think, the best that it's ever been in my life, ever. And it's weird to have nothing and feel the way that I feel. You know, I've been so aware of having just enough, you know. Obviously we all want more. So when it comes to music, I've been sitting in this space of I'm not ever gonna get to my dreams. Like I'm, you know, I was feeling this way prior, but I'm like, I'm never gonna get there. Like, you know, there's setback after setback after setback. And when I finally just let go of all of the what ifs and everything, I've started to receive small blessings in the right direction. And somebody stumbled across my music and is aware of my situation. They're going to help me kind of as like a private investor, we'll call them, and help me start working on I have a little 5-song project I'm working on. So I'm really excited to get back in the studio and get just back to creating my art on a more all platforms. But as you guys know, and then those watching who don't know me, I'm also on smaller platforms like Rap Fame and Rap Chat. And I always am dropping music on there. Every week there's a different contest. They give us like a word. This week's contest was real. Speaking on therapy and like putting it out on the outlets. I put my song for this week's contest, Real, out on all platforms to kind of like get my feet wet again and just try to start sharing. You know, I'm emerging back into creating music again. So
awesome.
That's good. Well, you know what they say. If you pray for it and you do the work, it'll happen. Yeah. Because that's how prayer and manifestation work. You can't pray and not do the work behind it. I used to always say, like, I will ask God, I'll ask the ancestors, I'll ask the universe. Listen, you open those doors, I'm gonna do the work. Yeah. As long as you open the doors, I will do the work. Yeah. And that was my vow. And that's when things started changing for me too. So I feel that from you, because there's a lot of people that'll block their own blessings by not just being able to release and stop worrying about it. Because most of the time it's like finding your keys after you set them down and you lost them. Oh my God, where are my keys at? I'm looking. I don't find it. But as soon as you sit back down on that couch or wherever you at, you're going to look to your left and see them keys right there. Yeah. If you're searching too hard, it comes to you naturally. If you just throw it out there, where are my keys? You'll find them. Yeah. And it's just like that with anything else in life. I'm a true believer in that. Me too. That's what I'm coming to find out about this is like, you know, I would say I'm more of a spiritual person than religious person, but I would sit there and be like, okay, I don't even know how to pray. I don't know how to have a conversation with God. And I would stress that so much that I just I just left it alone. And I realized I've been doing it all along through some of the music I've created. I've listened back to my songs and it's like straight manifestation, listening to the whole song. I'm like, this was him talking to me through me. Like, so it's in us too. And I have to remember that too and not stress so hard at like, what is the answer? We're already on a path. It's inevitable. We're destined. So it's nothing can happen in our journey that's gonna deprive us from where we're supposed to be. It's our story. It's gonna happen. And he's there. So yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, so I want to know about your song Candy for Breakfast.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, okay. There's a little bit of controversy around the song, but I'm excited to, clear it up. You guys know what a Karen is, right? Yes. I think everybody right now, everybody knows what a Karen is. So there's your Karens and then there's your candies. Candy is something artificially sweetened. It's fake. A candy is like a Karen, except for she doesn't racially discriminate. A candy is just a person that hates on you for no reason. This is a person that generally is lost. I started this song to kind of release some of the things that I was enduring on some of those smaller platforms. But I want this to become like, you know, a message that when you listen to the song, for those of you who haven't heard it, you'll understand. But it's empowering to yourself, like not letting anything from the outside, anything that is not real, to come into your world and disrupt who you are. It's fake. It's like candy. It's not real. It looks sweet. It's tempting, but it's not good for you. Keep it at a distance, you know, because it's going to uproar. It's going to build something in you that is not true to your character. It's going to pull you out of who you are, where you're supposed to be, what you're supposed to be doing. And I wrote that song just to remind people and myself, essentially, that I know who I am. I know who I am. I know what I'm doing. I'm okay with me. And ain't shit sweet, but I'm eating candy up for breakfast. Like I'm proud of me, even if no one else is. So
okay.
I love that.
Don't be a candy.
Okay, don't be a candy.
Right.
You heard her.
Right. And I think the biggest part of that message is not to let anybody drag your spirit down.
Mm-hmm.
Because as hard as they want to act and it's as tough as they present themselves, you know, being a bully and being rude to people is not cool.
Yeah.
And like kindness and gratitude goes a long way.
It does. And I know that sounds corny to a lot of people, but for the people it sounds corny to, you got a lot of inner work to do. Like you need to find some peace within yourself before you let your rage consume you and consume everything around you. Then you start losing the people that you love. You start losing the money opportunities that you can have. You're losing your dreams and your hopes because you can't let go of whatever that is that's holding you back. To me, that's a vice. And that's what I look at as like what people say as, oh, I'm fighting demons. No, those are just your personal issues that you have to face. And we have to stop being so afraid to like let people know that and be upfront with people on it, because there's no need for you to make your own self suffer. And then you're pushing that off on other people and projecting it onto people like vomit, you know? And
I love that you said that. I love that you said that. I have a song called Spectacular. It's not on all platforms, but it's on these smaller platforms. And I say that in the middle of it, I say, you know, we're all queens. The only thing that divides us is the projection of insecurity that resides in these weak ass bitches. And, you know, not to call my sisters bitches, but there's a difference between a woman and a bitch. And some people have growing to do. And that's when you evolve into a woman and evolve into a queen. And again, we are all queens. The only division is in that projection. So I love that you said that, because I feel that way so heavily.
Yeah, I mean, it does. I think it takes some queens longer to wear their crown. And that's the problem when they see other women wearing their crown. They feel some type of way because they don't know how to adjust theirs. They don't know how to pick it up. They've never had somebody come to them and be real with them on, listen, sis, I don't want to be like that with you.
Right.
I'm only here to show you support and love. You got to be open enough to accept that. Anything outside of that is not my problem. It's not my issue. That's your personal stuff. And honey, I could talk about this all day.
Yeah.
People ain't ready for that type of conversation, but I'm one of those. Like, I really believe in every single one of the women that walk on this planet, every single man that walks on this planet. I believe in everybody. I think we all have the capability to be better. And I think a lot of us refuse to because we don't know how. It's like my cousin who runs this beautiful company, and he is a life coach. He works on like Black and brown communities so that they can get out of that mental state of feeling like they're the victim all the time, like blaming everybody for all of their issues and their problems. And like well, he changed my whole life with that one, because I just did not know how many issues people had to work through. You know, even myself is just like, wow, okay, let me face that. Let me work on that so I can communicate with my sisters and my brothers more clearly, so that there's no misconstruing what's being said or what emotion is going behind it. I genuinely love everybody on this planet. Like, I don't have an inch of hatred in my spirit or my soul, but that's because I know, like, the universe got me. Like, I am, like, God is inside of me. I'm God. Like, why? And I see the God in you. So why would I be mad at you? Why
and
would
it's
I?
a peaceful, peaceful place to be. And I'm still learning. I'm a student. I got a student-like mindset with this because, like you said, wearing our crowns, I feel like I'm in the process now. I think we all have like spiritual awakenings throughout our life on multiple occasions. And sometimes there's that static and like the disconnection, you know. I feel like I'm dusting it off and picking it up. It's happening in slow motion. It's like I'm not there yet, but in the process of clearing out like the rubble, if you will, I'm realizing me. I'm seeing me, and that's the thing. It makes people who are not looking at themselves uncomfortable that you're okay saying this is me and learning to love the light that you walk in. And, you know, I don't know why it disturbs a lot of people, because most of us, it took us time to get to a point where we're like, I feel good. Like I love me. And it's like, it's not an easy process, but I think that's a little bit of what you're saying too, is like, yeah, it wasn't this beautiful. You didn't just wake up one day and be like, I'm a ray of sunshine. No, no, it doesn't happen like that. But because of how ugly some of the process is to transforming into that is the reason why sometimes it's easier to just be like, I'm gonna leave you where you stay at, because I know that where I'm at right now, even myself last year, I couldn't talk to myself. Me talk to me, because I wasn't gonna hear it. There was things that I was closed off and blocking blessings by not allowing me to look at me, you know. So
Absolutely.
Yes, that's beautiful.
yeah.
Well, first of all, congratulations.
Okay.
Because you know, this is, you know, there's a lot of people out there that are suffering, and we're all causing a lot of our own suffering. We're responsible for the majority of our own suffering, and we're putting it outside of us. And there is like this illusion of separation. And I think that's where some people may be intimidated when they see you shining, when they see you holding yourself up with confidence, and you know, anyone who has something bad to say about that is really toxic for them own self, like their own self rather. And you know, if you're solid in yourself, nothing that anyone else is going to say about you is going to matter. So anybody trashing someone else and attacking someone else with hurtful words and hatred, they're just poisoning themselves. And I think we've all been there. You know, we've all been the bully or the provoker. And because we are able to, first of all, monitor our own thoughts and be aware of what we're thinking. Because I'm one of the happiest people in the world, and I still will, you know, talk shit in my head and say, oh no, don't say that, you know, like that's rude, you know, like you have to check yourself. Like, what are those thoughts in your head? Are they low frequency, which is, you know, jealousy, hatred, envy, and fear? Or are you thinking positive about people? And it happens all day. So every day is a chance to rewire our own brain. And you know, there's a lot more we can talk about, because you know, it's flowing with us. But I want to recommend anybody who's listening, especially women, we have another podcast called In My Sister's Garden, hosted by Amanda. and it's more along the lines of these deeper topics.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not centered off of music, although everybody is welcome. It's a spiritual healing zone.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll put the link.
Go there next.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to have on there too. So
yeah,
we can because we can really chop it up on there and like, talk about it.
So yep, everybody tap in with that podcast, in My Sister's Garden podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And I do have, you know, a few more questions that I want to ask you. So I know that you have a creative mindset when it comes to music. You're talented, and you know, just speaking with you, you have a lot of experience in the world because of the things that you've been through. Makes you stronger and more experienced. And I know, and I can just tell by talking to you the way your mind works. You're not just like an artist. Like, you have this CEO mindset, and I can tell. So with, you don't have to tell all of your details, but what are some of the hopes and dreams that you have for your future self? Like, when you envision your future self, what are some of the hopes and dreams that you're hoping to accomplish?
I have a really big dream. It's I mean, music, of course, but I want music to kind of fund some of the deeper things I want to do, or hopefully be a sense of networking. But y'all know what YMCA is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to create something very similar to what YMCA is, but have it structured entirely around music and put it in areas where kids can't afford it. And I want it 100% free to them. I want them to be able to come in on the weekends, after school, before school, whatever. Let them come in, rent instruments, have people come in, whether it be like volunteer, I don't know, I'll work out those details later, but I want people to come in and teach classes, how to build a beat, sound and production, how to do stuff on the radio, how to videography, photography, and also offer the same things there for maybe up and coming artists in the area who can't utilize the things that they need to be, you know, chasing their endeavors. And I think it'd be a wonderful thing to put it entirely in a place where I come from nothing. And if I would have had things like Rap Fame and Rap Chat accessible to me earlier in life, or if I knew about them earlier, I think it could have kind of launched this further along now. And I do have a dream of that, to, you know, go and make this a chain so that it's not just in one city, but all over the world, and have it be essentially like a YMCA for musically inclined individuals.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
That's gorgeous to make. Oh my God. I can see it. I envision that.
One day.
Yeah. I envision it for you.
Well, first of all, I want to say that we 1,000,000,000% support everything that you do.
Mm-hmm.
Your music, your hopes and dreams for the future. So please do not count us out when you're brainstorming and you're thinking about those dreams of helping the children and stuff like that. Count us in.
Yep.
Because you have a team, and we're on board with that for sure. Absolutely. We would love to be a part of that.
Absolutely.
I feel like that's the season that I'm in right now too. A lot of my healing started taking place right at the right time, and my immersion into music has been a doorway for me to network with people who are essentially going to become part of my team. And it's not even my team, it's we all share a passion for something that contributes to this greater thing. So yeah.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Right,
absolutely. I'm excited for your future because, okay, period.
Yes.
I know that's right. Okay, it's called Save the Children by teaching them how to save themselves through what they love to do. And I like that.
Yes.
I want to call it Project Stars.
Oh,
Ooh, I like it.
I like that. Oh my God. Okay, don't forget about us.
So you hear it here.
Don't forget about us.
Absolutely not.
Okay, so do you have another question?
Well,
Okay.
I'm just kind of blown away right now. I'm still stuck on this project.
Yeah, I know. We could really talk for a long time.
Yes.
I guess a question that I keep thinking about, are you ever interested in starting your own podcast?
Yes. So my daughter, my 7-year-old Khaleesi, she makes music as well. She's never been to a real studio, but we work on music in Band Lab, and she has a rap fame as well. She started an account last week. It's obviously child appropriate music. She's like the definition of a kid. My kids play outside and all that. So she just loves music. She's a mama's girl, and she watches me. And it's funny, not that long ago, it's Christmas time, we went and got pictures with Santa and sat on Santa's lap, and what do you want, what do you want to be when you're older? She's like, my mom. I was like, oh, the pressure, because we forget our children look up to us. They see us as rock stars, and it's hard, to I'm still learning how to be a mom. I don't think that a lot of women who are mothers say that out loud, but I have no problem saying I'm still learning how to be a mom. I tell her all the time, we're learning this together, because it's a hard thing. But one thing where we click, we connect is in music. So I have this wonderful idea. I just don't really know where to start, honestly. But I want to do a podcast with her and bring on other kids who are trying to do music, and have them do a beat and build up a song on the live, and then promote it that way, and just do like a mini interview with them. And I think it'd be really cute, interactive, and fun. So
that's super cute.
Yeah, we're gonna help you with that too.
Yeah, we're like,
period, let's do it.
Yeah, that's super special.
Let's join. No, but yeah. I love that, because let me tell you something. We have this envision of like one of our nieces doing some type of like spiritual channel, and she's only like 5, but she's so in tune with what's going on. She's like really there. Yeah. And like you'll hear her say some stuff that just is like, girl, you is spiritually awake, ain't you? You're really there. Wait a minute. So like, these children are the future, and it's important to start them off with doing things that they love to do, and like nurturing that. So I love that idea. I definitely think you should follow through on that ASAP. And it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna take off. It's gonna take off.
And we can help you, because making a podcast is not that hard. And you can even start slow, and the power of it is incredible, because a lot of people are tired of watching the same channels and the same things. Like, we need a way to connect with each other. Yeah. And a podcast is one of the best ways, because we're opening that discussion, and it's not just behind the keyboards, like that. So yeah, we're on board with that, and we're gonna need the links for her stuff so we can
definitely
drop it.
We
want her to shine. So okay, so another question I had about the rap fame. Yeah. We only saw what you showed us through your rap fame and through the rap fame on YouTube. We don't have the app. Can you tell us more about it?
Yeah, so I think ideally what the mission behind it was to give everybody that wants to do music, wants to try music, and give them kind of the feel of being in the industry without maybe like the pressures of not belonging. It's a community of people who are trying to do music, love music, or are already doing their music. So there's, like I said, there's age group there's kids on there to people in their 40s. What it is a space where you can create music. They have a studio that you can utilize within the app. And it has all different types of tools to help you, you know, write music if you've never structured a song, or there's videos to show how to build a beat if that's your forte. It's really cool. I think that they've done a great job of being interactive with their users. It's why I'm still there. It's really fun. Like I said, every week they give you a topic word, and then they throw money out. There's $1,000 prize pool every week. So they definitely put money back into their users who are using the app. And I think it's really special to have a space and a little community where, even though we're not huge celebrities, we can still put our music out and kind of essentially share a piece of who we are. And thanks to Rap Chat and Rap Fame, they've done that for people who maybe don't have any other outlet to share their music, you know. And it's a really cool thing what they're trying to do there. So
that's what's up.
Yeah, that's really cool. I like that a lot. Yeah,
it's
so shout out to everybody over there on Rap Fame and Rap Chat. We're gonna check that out for sure, because you know, I think a lot of us are kind of getting bored with the same old thing.
Yeah.
And you know, the more we evolve, these type of things are very powerful for us to build community and relationships, because a lot of us are like, you know, stuck in one place, and not everybody can travel and have friends and do all this stuff. So, you know, it's powerful what we can do just in the palm of our hand. It's pretty cool.
I mean, I've utilized it for more than just myself. I've actually another artist that I do want to tap you guys in with. Her name is Mz.DontMiss. She is amazing. I met her 2 years ago on Rap Chat, and amongst talking and getting to know each other, we both live in the same city. So, you know, so it pulled us together, but we make music together and we hang out off the app. And it's so cool because of that. I mean, sometimes I'll go to like a showcase that's, say, in Atlanta, and there's a ton of artists there to network with. But the reality of, you know, actually sitting down and getting to lock in the studio and work is, you know, timing, budget. There's a whole lot of factors that like wager into it that kind of make it hard sometimes. These apps are cool because they allow you to just, hey, you want to do a song? We go use BandLab, another app that we use, and add each other to a project and start working. And it's really cool because some of the people, I mean, live in another country. I probably never would have ran into them at any event, never would have met them, but they're an amazing artist. And if it wasn't for some of these platforms, you know, we wouldn't have had the opportunity to create art together. So yeah,
right,
really cool.
That's so cool. I love that little network in there.
Yeah,
that's some nice networking that they got set up for everybody. That's pretty dope.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yep. So before we do anything else, we want to ask you, because we ask everybody that comes on the podcast, you know, like our biggest mission is to continue to uplift and empower people. And so with that being said, what advice are you leaving the listeners with when it comes to following your dreams and knowing your purpose?
Just see yourself. Take a break from social media sometimes, take a break from the world sometimes, and tap into you. And however you do it, whether it's writing down pros and cons, what do you like about yourself? What don't you like about yourself? The things that you like, water the hell out of them. And then the things that you don't like, find a plan to start to alter it and just work. I saw a thing the other day and it said like one day or day one. It's like all about your mindset and perspective. So I think what I mean by that is just one step, even if it's something small, you can fix or change and be whoever you want to be. But it's up to you. So you gotta do the work, you know, and just don't forget your worth. Know your worth and your value, and love you first. The rest will come. So
I know that's right. And I like what you just said, one day or day one. That's going to go over a lot of people's head that aren't ready to hear it. But for me, I needed to hear that personally. And I appreciate you saying that and remembering that, because that is really valuable, especially when you said, if you write the pros and cons of what you like and you don't like about yourself, look at the things that you love about yourself and water that the most.
Yeah.
Because you don't nurture the things that you don't like about yourself. That's because you're wanting to change. Mm-hmm. So you water the things that you really love about yourself.
Right. And before you plant the flowers, you got to pull those weeds.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep. I love that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Queen.
Yeah, thank you, ladies.
Thank you for being on our podcast and using our platform. We love you so much. All of your links for all of your social medias will be linked in the bio once we upload this episode. And we just want to let you know that we are so grateful for your time and your energy and your advice and everything else that you gave today. Immaculate. Period. Yes. Okay, it was a luxury having you on here today.
I'm so happy to have the time to sit here and talk with you ladies about all of this. And I hope that somebody watching feels a little bit more inspired and empowered too. And I'm happy that I got to be a part of this. It's beautiful.
Oh, thank you so much, Queen. And we hope you have a blessed rest of your week and that you enjoy your time and get to that work. Okay, honey?
Yes, period.
Be safe, Queen.
All right. Bye. Rise like a phoenix into a realm of the unknown.